What's up, guys? Max here. And in today's video, I want to talk about what I would do if I was just kind of restarting my career. So, if I was just starting out today, just out of college, or decided I wanted to go be an entrepreneur, be my own boss, be my own business owner, leave my 9 to 5, what would I do to start making a 6 figure income? What would I do to be able to make at least $10,000 a month as fast as possible and as easy as possible with the least amount of capital required, right? Assuming I have no money to start. So, listen, before I dive into what I would do and what I think is actually probably the easiest thing for anybody to do, the most capital efficient thing for anybody to do right now, there are lots of things you can do, right? So you probably, if you're on YouTube, there are lots of smart people on here sharing lots of amazing business ideas. And, none are really better than the other. There's a lot of great ways to get started. There are a lot of paths to making 6 figures a year. Transparently, and I'm not saying this to sound, egotistical or anything like that, because frankly, it took me a long time to start making 6 figures a year. But today, if you're like a solopreneur, it has never been easier to start making $100,000 a year, right? $100,000 a year is less than $10,000 a month. And there are so many ways to hit that number, which is also so exciting, right? Because like you can grind and grind and grind for 6 grand a year, 75 grand a year, 50 grand a year for a company you don't like doing, work you don't like doing, company like working for, and never have anything to show for it. So I love talking about this stuff. I love sharing advice on what I would do if I restart. I've got this question a lot. Let me also preface this by saying the business I'm going to tell you about and how I'd go about doing it is not a long-term thing. And the business is an agency, by the way. So I'm just going to cut right to the point. I think agencies are by far the easiest and fastest way to hit certain income thresholds, but they are inherently flawed. So they are a great, great business to make money quickly and fast for people relatively new to something. They are a very, very difficult business to scale past a certain point and to ever exit. So for me at this point in my career, I don't want to start agencies. I don't want to start service-based businesses that are very capital and resource intensive that also have a very low exit multiples. So I'm at a point in my career where what I'm doing financially and everything, like that's no longer of real interest to me. And there's some things that I'm doing there that actually could help you in this strategy. So let's go back to the start. All right. So if you're just getting started, right, you're like, hey, I want to do something and you are interested in marketing to some degree, I would start a TikTok ad agency. Okay, so TikTok is projected to do about 11 to 12 billion dollars in ad revenue in 2022. So in this year, Facebook, for comparison, is well over 100 billion. According to 2021 earnings report, I think it was 116, 120 billion in ad revenue. So even this year with rapid growth, TikTok is still 1/10 the size of Facebook in terms of ad revenue, which means there is a massive opportunity to catch the wave, that there is still a lot of businesses that have yet to hop onto TikTok. So from an opportunity standpoint, this is where I want to be. I want to be somewhere where there's low competition, high upside, giving me kind of a lot of pricing elasticity, the ability to charge a lot more, the ability to compete a lot easier because there's so much more demand than there is supply for service providers. Frankly, listen, I've been on TikTok for 3 years. You guys all know that. Even today, right now that it's kind of blown up the last year, there is still a shockingly low amount of quality media buyers doing TikTok. A lot of the agencies that were doing Facebook have all started offering TikTok. Most are garbage at it, right? I'm not saying that to be, mean or anything. It's just the reality. I've seen, I'm fortunate enough to get to see a lot of accounts because I do own an agency in a different structure. I said I never started an agency, slightly different structure that I can talk about later. I do own an agency. I do have a lot of consulting projects that I work on. So I consult and advise on a lot of other agencies and businesses. And then I also have a massive info business that teaches hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of TikTok advertisers and agencies. So I have really interesting visibility and insight onto what hundreds, if not thousands of TikTok advertisers right now are doing. Okay. And even the big agencies that are incredible at Facebook are doing a very, very poor job at TikTok. So there are very few competent people running TikTok ads, which means a lot of opportunity, even if you're mediocre at it, to still compete heavily. So what I would do if I was starting is I would try to get clients at the kind of lowest possible cost, right? If you're just getting started, you need to get some case studies, you need to get some traction. Most agencies are going to be charging at a minimum, probably 5 grand a month. And the other thing, most agencies are they have a lot of overhead. They have a lot of fixed costs. So they need to charge a certain amount to make it work economically for them. Your advantage is that you're one person. So really your costs are just your time and how much money you want to make, right? Paying your bills. So you have the advantage there of being really nimble and really lean in terms of what you can charge. So if most agencies are charging, between 5 and 10 grand a month for Facebook, for TikTok, you can come in and say, I'm going to charge 3 grand a month. I'm going to charge, let's say, $2,500 a month to keep it easy. So if you come in and say, I'm going to charge $2,500 a month for TikTok ads, that means you need 4 clients. You need 4 people to say yes to you to be making $10,000 a month, which is $120,000 a year. You now have a 6-figure income with 4 clients, right? That is a really low bar. That is a really low barrier. That is incredibly achievable for anybody. Okay. What I'd also do in there, and this is again an advantage of being very lean, being very hungry, and only needing a few clients. I would also throw in there that, hey, I'm going to do your creative as well. Because again, most agencies aren't doing creative in-house, which is why their TikTok ads are failing. And if they do offer TikTok ad services, they're charging an extra few $1,000s a month. So it's a very, very expensive service. What you can do is get really good at TikTok, and I'll tell you some ways to do that and get really, really good at it. And also shoot creative and help them make creative, right? So you can subsidize, maybe some in-house stuff. You can repurpose some of their content, and then you can also shoot content. So now you can also media buy and offer creative, which is going to give you a better chance to be successful with TikTok because you're doing both those things, and you're offering more value, and you're charging less than the competition. So to get 4 people to say yes to that is very realistic right now, especially because most businesses, the massive amount of businesses that haven't jumped on, they're in that kind of, low 7-figure a year range, high 6 to low 7 figures. So for them, paying an agency 7,500 to 10 grand a month for a unproven channel is a huge risk. So if you can come in and say, hey, I'm at 3,000 a month, $2,500 a month, much lower risk, and they want to test it. Most businesses want to try TikTok out. They just financially can't do it yet. So that's where you come in with that great price. So how would I go about getting clients? How would I go about developing this service? So the first thing I would do is I would spend a lot of time on TikTok, right? So I would start, again, if you want to do a TikTok ad agency, which I think is the best type of agency to start right now because it's the hottest and the most demand there, spend every day in TikTok just consuming and creating. That is the easiest way to get good at TikTok, is to just consume a lot of content from quality creators and to begin creating content every single day so you get really good at the creative aspect of it, right? On top of that, what you can also start doing is, creating your own ad account. Maybe start testing some CPA performance offers, low amount of money. So this is a low investment for you. So you can at least start building up some data, some traction, start getting familiar with the platform. You can also just do it to build your own authority and profile. So you could start running, community interaction ads to build up your following, to build up your awareness, start running some lead gen ads for a newsletter, which is something I would do. So if I were you, I'd also start a weekly or bi-monthly, bi-monthly. So basically 2 times a month newsletter that you send out that just aggregates, here's all the latest TikTok marketing news, all the latest TikTok marketing experts. So start following them on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, aggregate them. And now you have this really good piece of value for people that are interested in learning TikTok ads. So you can actually drive people into your email list to nurture them and to this newsletter. So I would do something like that. And then you can also test some ads to it, which is getting familiar with TikTok as an ad platform. On top of that, what you may do is, you may go to the first 1 or 2 businesses you talk to, local businesses. You can go, that's probably an easy way to start too, is go to local businesses, for example, and, do something where I don't like, some people ask me all the time, they're like, hey, I'm just getting started. Should I do things for free? I do not like doing things for free. I think that's a bad precedent. I think most people will say, hey, well, we'll do it for free and then I'll eventually pay you if you do this. Once you lock someone in for free, they're never going to pay you, right? And they don't value your service because you don't value yourself. So what I would do instead is to remove the risk from them. I would do something like, hey, I can get you this ROAS or this CPA, or set some benchmarks. And so set like a minimum, say it's $1,000 a month, something like that. So at least getting paid. But if I'm able to hit these goals for you, this is my retainer and this is what I want to be paid. So it's low risk for them because they know they're only going to pay you if they're getting results and really good. But you're also covering your downside by doing a kind of a small amount. So you're at least covering your time and getting paid and not getting things for free. And then those initial accounts will allow you to get experience and to build up some data, build up some history, build up some case studies, some testimonials, all that good stuff. So that's what I would do on that side of it. I would also start just posting lots of content, right? The easiest way to grow any type of business is to grow influence and authority, right? It is exponentially easier for me to get deals and get business today than it was 2 years ago, than it was 5 years ago, than it was 10 years ago. Why is that? It's because my authority, my clout in the industry has grown. I've done so much business with so many people that everyone kind of knows me in the industry. And then I've also built up my online audience, my online following. So I've built so much goodwill, so much authority that people want to work with me. People come to me to work with me, right? When people don't know me yet, but they know somebody that does, it's easier to close deals. So you need to build influence, you need to build authority. It's not going to happen overnight, but you can get started. And over time, you'll find it easier and easier and easier. But transparently, like, you don't need to be a rock star. You don't need to be a massive public figure in our space to get started in the agency business. Because again, you can start low price, you can start with small businesses, you can start in an underserved market. What I would also do, kind of another pro tip, a little hack there, is look for people like me who are premium service providers in the industry. So my performance agency, my regular agency charge a lot of money per month. Our min retainer is $10,000 to $15,000 a month, which means that most businesses we're too expensive for. But smart business owners don't let opportunities skate by them, right? So what I always do is I figure out, okay, we're not the right fit for most people, but those people still need the service. I'm going to go find other people that offer the service at a lower price that I can refer to. And I'm going to do a referral deal with them where they pay me every month if that person closes. So, hey, we're not the right fit for you right now with our agency, but this agency over here is great. I send them over there. That agency then pays me every month a percent, 5, 10, 15% of what they make. And I'm totally hands off. It's a win-win for both parties. So for somebody like me, I have a lot of students, a lot of people in the TikTok space that want TikTok ad management, but can't afford expensive agencies. So they're probably looking for, hey, I'm either looking for a buyer that I can hire, or I'm looking for a much lower cost contract I can work with. So if you came to me and said, hey, Max, relatively new to TikTok, but I'm getting great results. Here's some of my numbers. Here's some of my success stories. If you have clients that are, local businesses, small businesses that are doing, 500 grand to $1 million a year that have small budgets, I would love to be able to do a deal with you. And for me, that's great because I have a lot more volume of those people that I could send to you. So for me, it's like, hey, a lot of people coming in over here, I don't even talk to because their budget's so low. But if I know I have a trusted source like you, I can send you all that business. And I might say to you, well, hey, pay me 10%. Okay. So just pay me 10% every month of the, what you're billing them, and it'll be great. So if I send you a client, they pay you $2,000 a month, you pay me $200 a month, and you're getting a consistent, steady stream of lead flow. So those are a few of the things that I would do if I was just getting started to be able to build up a client base and a database. And it gets easier and easier and easier each success story you have. It starts slow. But again, I think right now in 2022, by far one of the easiest and fastest and least expensive in terms of capital and time investment ways to generate a six-figure income if you're just getting started is to start a service-based business, specifically an agency, and more specifically a TikTok ad agency, because there's way more demand than there is supply. You're coming in at the perfect point to build up your expertise, your authority, your influence. As it's at this inflection point, as it's growing really rapidly, you'll be able to ride that wave, just like there are tons of buddies of mine that were getting started with Facebook ads around the time that Facebook was doing that. They all got started just like you're getting started today. They all charged a lot less than they charge today. They rode that wave up, and now they run massive businesses and have made millions and millions and millions of dollars, some tens of millions of dollars in that time. So that's how I would do it. That's how I think you should do it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And as always, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. I'll see you guys in the next one.